This year started off different than last year in the fact that we had a lot of snow left at the beginning of bear season. The areas that typically had open spots of green grass were still covered in at least a foot of snow. So it seemed like a huge amount of time in the first part of bear season went to just watching the snow lines slowly recede up the mountain. I knew eventually, when stuff started to green up, that bears would begin to appear. And that's exactly what happened. When we started seeing bears, we started seeing a lot of bears. Like May 19th, I believe. Spring bear season is underway, but as you can see, we got dumped on here. Just getting to bear camp, there's about 4 inches of fresh snow. So before we get going here, gonna get the cabin loaded up with firewood and be ready for tonight. My dad always said work before play, so that's what we're doing. Just gonna cut a little kindling here, make it a little easier to get our fire going tonight. This year I found myself headed back to the same old familiar cabin. It's kind of become a tradition for me to come up here and spend a good majority of my spring bear season chasing the bears from this location. After years of hunting here, I've begun to know where to look for the bears and know where the bears are going to first appear in the spring. There's so much snow right now. I mean, it is melting fast, but there's still a few inches in a lot of these side hills. And a lot of the deer and stuff we've seen today have been right underneath the pine trees, standing in that little circle of green where there's no snow. And I'm just thinking, the fact that we've sat here all day and it's been a beautiful day and haven't really seen any, I'm wondering if the bears aren't doing the same thing, just hunkered in the timber, waiting for these slopes to green up again so they can come out into them. I don't know. I mean, that's just just a guess, the deer have definitely been sticking to those little green circles under the trees, so there's a chance the bears are too. I think we're gonna have to head for lower ground here. We've been spotting a couple days, and we were seeing bears in this stuff now, and now since this snow hit, we haven't seen a single bear. The only one we have seen has been way down lower in the valley. I think our best bet now is to just go back to the cabin, get geared up, and I got a trail picked out on the maps here. Never hiked it before, but it looks like, you know, looking at the onX maps, it looks like it's got a lot of good country in there. So we got nothing to lose at this point. All the bears we did know about, we cannot find anymore, and it's different. The snow has changed things up. The bears, I think, are having to go, you know, find lower elevations where there isn't this much crusty snow to find some feed. Makes sense. If I was a bear, that's where I'd be. So I think that's our best move. Plus, I'm excited about just getting out. I've been just sitting behind this glass too long. I want to stretch the wheels a little bit. it's just looking like bad weather, rain, wind, rain, rain, rain. Got rain starting now, going through almost sundown. Afternoon here. It's super nice out, dead calm. We've decided to kind of hit the lower elevations and get on one of these logging roads. There's a little bit of green. And just hike it out here, see what we can see. Hunt smarter with the new era of GPS. After looking over a lot of bears, we started to see a pattern in the fact that we were seeing a lot of sows and cubs. Numerous groups of sows with 2 cubs, and at one point we could see 6 bears on one hillside, all of them sows and cubs. I felt like if I was patient, eventually these sows would begin to kick the 2.5-year-old cubs and be open for looking for a boar for a companion. Well, we're finally starting to feel some warmth in the air. You know, we were getting pounded the first couple of days of this hunt with snow and rain and wind, and I mean everything you could throw at it. It was cold, and you're just really limited on where you could spot the bears, where you could get, where the bears would even be. And now we're watching this snow slowly work its way up the mountain. And we're feeling really good about starting to now see bears pop out into these meadows in a little more movement. You can feel the change. The skies have broke. It's partly cloudy. It's supposed to be in the mid-60s today and the next few days. So I think we got a good 3-day window here to make something happen. Finally got a bear. Side hills here. I've only been able to just see part of the bear. Haven't got a good look at it yet. It's black. I know right exactly where he's at, and it's not that far a hike to get to him. He's down low, considering. Hard to tell how big. Look, he moves like a big bear, slow and deliberate, but he's also 2 miles off, so See what he looks like closer. Hopefully we can see him when we get there. He's not in a very big opening. Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction to watching this bear is it's a real nice bear. I mean, it looks like a nice bear. It moves like a big mature bear. Little bears are kind of sporadic and all over the place. Big bears move slow, deliberate, kind of. That's what he's doing. But promising. Got a bear, opposite side hill, and weather's just looking better the next few days, so this is cool. So fun to watch them over there just do their thing. As far as I think we can, and still keep a visual on where he was at. And through this clearing here, the last time we saw him, he was just below the timber line, and now we're at the point where if we try to get any closer, we're just going to lose him, I think. And I don't really know if we have a move on him. Well, we just got back down off the mountain here. You can't tell, but we got kind of cliffed out in there and in a rock slide. And it just went straight up in the air like it does in here so many times. That wind swirled a little bit, and we just didn't have a play. We did everything we could. We spotted him across the canyon, kept him in the line of sight as long as we could, and then we had to drop out of sight, and it just got so thick, and we did what we could. That's just spring bear hunting. I mean, finding them is only part of the battle here, so. Hunt smarter with the new era of GPS. We just spotted probably one of the prettiest bears I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the thing's absolutely gorgeous. Looks like just a chunk of a bear. And this bear is killable, really killable. We just got done going after that black one, and he was in a gnarly rock slide. This bear is in a pristine green meadow. I know where this bear's at. I've hunted it a lot of times. We wasted no time in gathering up the spotting scopes and getting our gear ready and heading after this bear. One of the hardest parts about hunting bears in the mountains is the swirling winds. Many times, the time of day that you'll get the opportunity to chase these bears will be at the exact same time that the thermals are beginning to switch on the mountain. That can make it challenging when you're in those final few hundred yards in trying to close the gap for the shot. And I was afraid that if we wasted much time in moving in, those thermals were going to change and blow our opportunity at this bear. Yep. When we got set up, I spotted the bear, and we quickly moved in for the shot. No matter which way I moved on this bear, it just seemed like I could not get the right angle. And eventually, he caught our wind and made it into the heavy timber. I thought for sure this was going to be my opportunity. After hunting so hard and looking over so many bears, and knowing that we had been so close on so many opportunities, I felt like this was going to be the one. I've always said that persistence pays off, and if you continue to go out there and put yourself in those positions, you'll get your opportunity, and you'll take the animal that you've been after. This year was different. Although I had as much fun as I've had in years of bear hunting, we just couldn't put it together on a quality bear. I saw more bears than I've seen in any hunting season in my entire life, and I saw the biggest bear I've seen in a long time. Although no opportunities came together, I don't regret a single thing about this bear season. I had a blast, and the amount of country we were able to cover and the amount of bears we were able to see, that's exactly why I come out here. And next year, they'll just be 1 year bigger.